back to another video. In this video, I will be discussing the rate at which technology, which is the storing of energy to recreate the human experience or processes in a technology, which all technology is as a result of a human experience or process, which we derive technology from in order to increase the potential or lower the use of this human process. Now, if you analyze the process of the actual technology itself, what do you find? Well, it's run on electricity, which electricity runs, if it is not plugged in, it holds a battery, which a battery itself stores an electrical charge. Now I want you to try something out for me. I want you to take your cell phone or a vaping device, which in itself has a battery. And now I want you to put either cell phone or said vaping device in one pocket, whichever you choose, whichever pocket, whichever device. And now I want you to specifically put one coin in your pocket or 2 coins in one pocket. And now notice how you might feel within a matter of seconds it starts heating up in your pocket and you feel it's starting to feel like it's beginning to burn. Why is that? Well, essentially from the coins next to a battery, you created a connective energy transmitter, which from this particular point, you then generate energy transferring right at your lymphatic system at the level of your pocket, which in the stunting of radiation poisoning, such as this particular type of poisoning, which imagine now if you have one device in one pocket, another device in another pocket, one coin here, one coin in the other, you create essentially radiation going directly into your reproductive organs. Radiation of energy, because that is what radiation is. It is energy focused in a particular line within the height of the atmospheric level, which a focused line of radiation is in essence a direct current. Now, when we look at the current societal structure behind the infertility rates we might be experiencing as a common people, what do you think might be causing this? I don't know. What would you say is causing it? Because I have a pretty damn good guess. And I want you to take the coins and the cell phone out of your pocket now. And I want you to see how you don't feel the burning in your pocket anymore, but you feel that the device and the coin itself are hot to the touch. They have entered an exothermic reaction, which has transferred energy, which radiates itself into your lymphatic system, which then affects your reproductive organs. And the more we create this process of focusing or maintaining this in your pocket, well, eventually we see the rise of things such as the development of cysts on reproductive organs, the development of tumors on reproductive organs, and the list goes on and on and on. The more we also increase the rate at which it can develop, the moment we introduce a form of birth control, which in essence a birth control is meant to stop the process of the woman's moon, we will say, the stopping of this woman's moon, it essentially tricks the woman's body into believing it is pregnant, which in doing so, its levels of its hormonal level within its system of the woman's body then enters a pregnancy state of hormonal resonance, which means within its stopping of releasing the essential building blocks, or the now formulation of cells that build and build up and build up and build up within this environment, what do you think cancer is? It is an unhealthy buildup of cells. Now we see that in the rise of adding the form of birth control, then in the combination of cell phones and storing change within your pocket will altogether create a reaction based on the lymphatic energy that is then transferred into the essential mutation, which in the mutation of the body, if you tell the, now we'll say the uterus of the woman to no longer shed, but to hold on to the cells that are continuously coming, and the holding of these particular cells, they are no longer being released in a cyclical pattern, which in itself results now, if you were to look at the buildup of unhealthy cells, it results in cancer. Now, how have I made this correlation, you might ask? Well, for one, I have met many separate women that I have had to essentially perform a work of sorts in order to understand and remove or heal said tumor based on the actual energy you yourself as a human hold as energy. Because you yourself as a body, what do you think your body is? You feed yourself food and water to sustain your ability to store this energy known as your life force. You are essentially kind of like a battery of only a conscious, self-aware, and moving sorts, if you wish. But in this process, if you take an external synthetic process and change it into a natural process, you alter the overall process of its nature. So in the adding a battery, such as a cell phone, to your pocket and then creating storing of change, you then see that this creates then essential radiation lines, which runs radiation poisoning. And how do I make this correlation? Ding, 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 ding. This is the process at which electro-dry needling works. It is a form of physiotherapy, which in electro-dry needling, you essentially create an insertion point inside the body and run a current known as energy, electricity, which through the positioning of the needles, you essentially run from one polar opposite, creating an arc through the body, and exit throughout the other side of the body, resulting in what is known as a lesion, a cut, where you're actively cutting the tissue. Which now, if based on the analysis that from the energy of a cell phone relayed into now a coin-like shape, such as a pad of sorts, and I have this either entering one side or both sides in a current, you would essentially see that this is creating lesions and cuts, resulting in mutations of your cells, where your cells are now hardening, and now you see that they are no longer able to divide as easily, resulting in a infertility rate. Thank you for joining me upon this talk. I hope this was informational and that this helps you or anyone you may know going forward. Don't keep your cell phones in your pockets, folks. It's the worst place you can keep them. Thank you.